The events of this audio drama take place 5 years after Zack Snyder's Justice League. In the 5 years since the formation of the Justice League, Batman has been working tirelessly in Gotham to rid it of crime. He has a renewed sense of hope for his city's future, while the other members of the League fight their own battles. Arthur in Atlantis, Diana trying to find her way back to Paradise Island, Barry fighting to prove his father's innocence, and Victor learning more about his own abilities. In Gotham, Bruce, along with Alfred's help, begin their current mission. This is where our story begins. Batman, the Gotham Knight. Written and performed by Adam Shirley. In Gotham City, inside a sleek home sitting next to a lake, Alfred Pennyworth, loyal butler to the Wayne family, is in his study. He opens a book with the title, The Gotham Knight, on the cover. Within its currently bare pages, he begins to write.
Let's see, where shall I begin? Well, I suppose at the beginning. Bruce Wayne, son of the great Thomas and Martha Wayne. His journey began with darkness, witnessing the grisly murder of his parents after seeing a late movie with them. It was this exact moment that changed this young man forever. He grew up very fast, and as a young man traveled around the globe learning all sorts of martial arts styles, before coming home and becoming a symbol that ultimately would change his city forever. The Batman. He began his journey as Batman more than 20 years ago, and is still currently fighting crime. It was 5 years ago he and a group of extravagant people joined together to face off against an insurmountable threat, a being from another world known as Steppenwolf. And they won. His first mission as Batman began.
A black armored car flies through the Gotham streets, engine roaring and wheels kicking up gravel as it makes sharp turns. It is the Batmobile, and inside of it, Batman makes his way to Arkham Asylum to speak with Warden Sharp.
Alfred.
Yes, Master Bruce. I'm here.
I'm on my way to Arkham. Commissioner Gordon just informed me that Warden Sharp wanted to see me. He said it was very urgent.
What could it be at this hour?
A breakout. It's the only thing that makes sense.
Well, it could be anything, honestly. A death, a murder. Why do you always think the worst, Bruce? You really should try to think positive more often. It could change your outlook on so many things.
I'll take that into consideration, Alfred.
As the Batmobile weaves in and out of traffic, around bends and turns, it finally reaches its destination, a large building with menacing letters on the side, Arkham Asylum. It is a place where the worst of the worst inside, murderers, cult leaders, metahumans, all disturbed in one way or another. Batman enters, and Warden Sharp meets him at the door, passing him through security and explaining the situation as they walk.
Batman, thank God you're here.
What is it, Warden? What has happened?
Bane has escaped.
How?
Come this way. I'll show you.
Warden Sharp leads Batman to an office where he loads a security video of Bane fighting through security guards on his way to the front door. He stops at an inmate storage room and grabs his mask and small venom canisters that he loads into his mask. He then disperses the chemical in gas form by pressing a button and breathing in the fumes, making him grow into a hulking figure that smashes his way out of the facility. At the same time, another inmate escapes, and Batman points this out to the warden.
Who is the other inmate that ran out of the building, Warden?
Roddy McDowell. That's his ID number on the back of his uniform. And his cell is one that was destroyed in the escape.
Who is he?
A cult leader. Someone who thought to be purified you must be baptized by fire. And he meant literally. He killed 50 of his followers with this bizarre ritual. Only he was immune to this because he was chosen by a higher power, as he said.
I'll get to the bottom of this. Send me surveillance videos. Here.
Batman hands him a small USB device.
Put the files on here. They'll be sent directly to my computer.
He turns and leaves Arkham Asylum, returning to the Batmobile, intent on investigating this more on the Batcomputer with the surveillance footage the Warden was sending him. As he leaves, he and Alfred begin speaking again over the con system.
I'm on my way back, Alfred. Bane and another inmate has escaped.
Right. I'll begin looking through the archives to see if I can find any former hideouts and locations where you may be.
Check on someone named Roddy McDowell. He's the other inmate who got out with Bane.
Getting on it now, sir. Here it is. Mr. McDowell was put in Arkham Asylum 6 months ago for, oh dear, burning 57 people to death in a ritual he called the Purifying. It says here that he lived in the Narrows in an old run-down house. Mr. McDowell believed that if he burned these people, they would become pure of heart and body and be made whole again.
What's the address, Alfred?
568 Randall Lane.
I'll check that out before it's... Alfred, there was just an explosion in the city. I'm going to head in that direction.
Be careful, Master Bruce. I'm looking into it now. It appears the explosion came from the Wayne Foundation Orphanage.
Batman weaves through traffic, making his way through the streets of Gotham City, tires sliding and skidding on the pavement, rushing to get there, hoping that he can get there in time. Then he began wondering, who could do something like this, and why? His thoughts raced as he sped to the institute his family founded to help orphaned children find homes. He arrives at the blaze and exits the Batmobile. As he approaches, a large figure stands staring at the building engulfed in flames. Batman knows who it is.
Bane.
Batman, I knew you would come. What do you think of the spectacle?
I think you're sick. Why would you do something like this? Killing innocent children in a fire?
All part of the plan.
What plan? And what kind of game are you playing?
Not my plan. His.
Whose?
You'll have to wait and see.
I don't have time for this. Tell me.
Make me.
Fight breaks out between the two. Bane charges Batman, and Batman evades, flipping over him and jumping onto his back. Bane grabs Batman and throws him to the ground. He attempts to stomp on Batman, but Batman rolls out of the way, grabbing one of Bane's legs, sweeping out from underneath him, then jumping on top of him. He lays in some heavy blows at this point. Bane goes to reach for the button on his mask to use the venom, but Batman grabs his arm, puts him into a jiu-jitsu armbar, breaking his arm. Bane fights through the pain. Batman throws him off. He uses the other arm to press the button, dispensing the venom. He grows in size and in strength and grabs Batman by the throat, lifting him and choking him. Batman uses what breath he has left to kick Bane underneath the chin, breaking his grip. He then takes a batarang and cuts the straps on the back of Bane's mask. He gives Bane a spinning back fist, sending the mask off of Bane's face to the ground. Bane is rocked. Batman gives one last strong right hook to the face, taking Bane to his knees. When Bane looks up, Batman has a batarang to his throat, and Bane realizes he has lost this fight.
Tell me, what is McDowell's plan? Why did you break him out, and why would you kill all of these innocent children?
There were no kids here, you fool. The place was empty when I got here.
Empty? What do you mean? Then why the explosion? Why the big scene unless...
Batman stands up and looks around as if he's realized something. He gets this tense, fearful look on his face, and he understands.
It's a distraction.
It's all part of his plan, Batman. And this time, you can't win.
I don't know what McDowell is playing at here, but he's got another thing coming, If he thinks he can win, I'll find out what he's planning, and I will stop him.
Batman then delivers one final punch to Bane, knocking him out cold and cuffing him before letting Commissioner Gordon know of his location and leaving. Batman begins speaking to Alfred again while he's driving.
Alfred, it was Bane at the orphanage, but it was just a distraction. There was no children in the orphanage when Bane arrived, from what he had said. He helped McDowell escape. He said it was all part of his plan. Any idea what that could mean?
Batman waits, but Alfred doesn't respond.
Alfred, are you there? Alfred!
Fearing the worst, Batman speeds off towards the Batcave, intent on finding out why his closest friend and confidant wasn't responding. He flies down the dirt road past the Hall of Justice, a place that used to be his family home, Wayne Manor. He races through the lush tree line until finally he reaches the lake, where he flips a switch to open a secret entrance to the Batcave under the lake. When he arrives, he leaps out of the Batmobile and sprints up the stairs to find Alfred laying in a pool of his own blood. Batman pulls his mask off and rushes to Alfred's side.
Alfred, what happened? Alfred, talk to me. Alfred.
Bruce bandages him up and takes him to the hospital. He makes a promise to Alfred while Alfred's laying in his hospital bed.
I'll find out whoever did this, Alfred. And when I do, I'll make them pay.
Bruce then returns to the Batcave to figure out what happened. He immediately goes to where the pool of Alfred's blood was and looks for clues as to what might have happened to him. Then, there on the floor, unnoticed before by Batman, is a message written in blood, slightly smeared by a footprint from Bruce's boot, but definitely still legible. In handwritten scribbled letters, there were 3 words: "See you soon." And beside them was a sinister, smiley face. Batman's thoughts began to race, and he thought to himself,
No, it can't be. Not him. Not again.
He went to check on Alfred again, and then he was off, back to Arkham Asylum to see if he was still in his cell. He raced through Gotham streets, his thoughts running frantically through his mind, the hows and what-ifs filling his head. He arrives at Arkham Asylum and immediately tells Warden Sharp,
I need to see the Joker.
He should still be in his cell, Batman.
I have reason to believe that he's not.
The Warden leads the Dark Knight down the halls, through corridors to an isolated wing. He then shows Batman to a cell labeled BM-0140. Inside it, there he sits, facing away from the door. Batman says to the Warden,
I need to know it's him. I have to see him. I have to talk to him.
The Warden tells the guards to open the door, and Batman enters. He walks around to face the man and begins confronting him.
Were you part of this? Part of this escape plan with Bane? Part of the burning down of the Wayne Foundation orphanage? I know you. This is right up your alley. So talk.
Batman gets frustrated. The more he talks to the psychopath, the more he stays the same. Quiet. He doesn't even look up at Batman the entire time. Then, Batman grabs him and shakes him, and a drop of green liquid falls onto Batman's gauntlet. He looks at the man and realizes this isn't the clown prince of crime, and that the Joker has escaped once again. Batman is enraged.
Where is he? Tell me! Tell me now!
Batman grabs the man and slams him up against the wall.
Batman, what are you doing? You can't do that. Not even to him.
Batman then drops the man and turns towards the Warden, angry, and walks past him, saying,
It isn't the Joker, Warden.
Batman then storms out of the building and returns to the Batmobile. The Warden looks at the man. He just sits on the floor in his cell, smiling, with green streaks of hair dye running down his face. And he starts talking loudly.
The light will purify you all. Come now and be purified. The light will burn away all of your sins.
Jesus. It's McDowell. Get him into solitary.
Batman gets into the Batmobile and talks to the Bat computer remotely, asking it to look through the city for any related crimes. The computer comes back with nothing. He's just about to start on his way back to the Batcave when he receives a transmission with coordinates saying, "Let's play a game." And the Dark Knight is off again, racing to the coordinates, hoping he can find the sinister clown. The coordinates lead him to the old Gotham movie theater, the one his parents were killed outside of. He exits the Batmobile and walks through the eerie doors. Outside of one of the theater entrances is an old movie poster, The Mask of Zorro, and spray painted over that is the words, "Our Story." Batman enters the theater. As he does, the screen lights up. It's a medley of security footage videos from their previous battles. As he watches, the Joker begins narrating.
Our story begins with a bang. 20 years ago, at Ace Chemicals, you let me, an innocent bystander, trip and fall into a vat of chemicals, turning me into what I am now, the Joker. Fast forward a few years, and we are at war. But let's not kid ourselves, Bruce. We need each other. And others, they've tried to get in the way. So I had to get rid of them. Like your little bird boy. Poor Dick. He was beaten to death by me and Harley. He loved the crowbar, by the way. There were many fights after that. Some would end with me almost winning. Some would end with you almost killing me. That's how my teeth got like this. Am I right, Bats? But the one thing you didn't account for is this psychopath being smart enough to beat you. And I have. Well, that was our story before today. But now that you're here...
Batman walks to the middle of the theater, and as this sick showing of their history stops, a knife slices through the movie screen, and out steps the Joker in his long purple jacket with a golden machine gun. He points at Batman and says,
It's playtime!
Batman dives behind a row of empty theater seats as the Joker is laughing and firing the gun at the Dark Knight.
Looks like the joke's on you. You really screwed the pooch on this one, big guy.
The Joker continues shooting until he hears Batman scream. He's been shot. The Clown Prince of Crime walks to the row of seats where he heard the scream come from to look for his rival. When he reaches the spot, Batman isn't there. He begins to look around for him, and as he does, he's punched in the face by the fist of the Bat, putting him on the ground. Batman continues pounding on him relentlessly, seeing only red for what he did to Alfred, for all the lives that he has ruined, letting go of all the rage he's held inside. But there's something different about this time. Batman isn't stopping. His mind is made up. This is no longer about making the Joker pay, but about revenge. The Joker is right at the brink of death when over the con system, Batman hears a cough, and then...
Master Bruce, stop. This isn't you. This is what your parents would have wanted.
Batman hesitates for a moment.
Alfred? How? You were in the hospital. I thought you were going to die.
I'm alright. I snuck out of the hospital and was able to make it back to the cave. I'm definitely worse for wear, but I'm going to make it, Bruce. But you won't if you continue down this path. You'll never be able to forgive yourself if you decide to kill, even if it is him that you kill.
After all he's done, after all the people that he's killed and all the families' lives that he's ruined, He needs to pay. He needs to be stopped.
He will pay, but not like this. You aren't God, Bruce. You aren't an executioner. What you are is a symbol. One that shows that even in the darkest nights, and even when it feels that all is lost, people can put their trust in you. You are a symbol that this city has a protector and a guardian. Now you must do what's right, Master Wayne. And you know what that is.
Batman looks at the bloody and swollen face of the Joker, metal teeth bent and barely hanging to his gums. Both of his orbital bones broke, with his face still twisted in a sinister smile, with a slight chuckle still coming from his lips as he spits up blood. Batman sees what could have been flash before his eyes and realizes Alfred is right. He cuffs the Joker and hand delivers him back to Warden Sharp at Arkham Asylum.
A few months later.
Alfred and Bruce are speaking about the possibility of an oncoming invasion by Darkseid when there's a loud boom. Bruce and Alfred recognize this as the unmistakable sound of the sonic boom emanated by the most powerful individual in the world. As he lands gracefully at Wayne Manor, he walks into the house. He is in his black cape and suit with the bold S on his chest, the symbol of the House of L, a symbol of hope. Then his statuesque figure appears, and the Man of Steel, Superman, begins to speak to them.
Bruce. Alfred. Hello, Master Kent.
Clark? What brings you to Gotham? Is everything okay?
Clark's smile begins to fade, and he says,
He's coming, Bruce. Darkseid is coming. I need you to promise me something. Lois is my entire world. She means everything to me. And I don't know what I'd do if anything were to ever happen to her. So I'm asking you to promise me to keep her here. And keep her safe.
I promise, Clark. She will be safe. I'll do whatever I need to keep her safe.
Thank you, Bruce.
The two heroes shake hands, and Superman flies off, as Bruce and Alfred begin making preparations for the oncoming war.
Not long after this, the Justice League reforms to fight Darkseid's army. Lex Luthor and Darkseid speak at this point, and Luthor has collected all 3 mother boxes to form the Unity. He tells Darkseid that Lois Lane is the key to Superman. She is his only weakness, other than kryptonite. After this, Darkseid goes to meet Superman, and the Man of Steel takes on the God of Apocalypse. But as their fight begins, and Superman takes control of the fight, Darkseid boom tubes to the Batcave and kills Lois Lane. Superman arrives. He's too late. Seeing what had happened, he is mentally broken. Seeing the woman he loves blasted into a pile of ash and bone by Darkseid's Omega beams. At this time, Darkseid uses the anti-life equation to take control of Superman. And this is where the nightmare scene in Batman vs. Superman, and at the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League, begins. And the war for Earth's fate truly starts as the events of the unmade Zack Snyder Justice League 2 and 3 take place.